Dear students, welcome to the fourth lecture on Statistical Thermodynamics Part B. In this lecture, we will see about the basic concepts of partition function. The following topics will be covered in this lecture. We will see about partition function, its characteristics, physical significance, relation between entropy and thermodynamic probability, molecular and molar partition function. In previous lectures, we have seen Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. Ni upon n is equal to Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT divided by summation Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT. This gives the fraction of total molecules in the ith energy level. The quantity in the denominator, which is represented by Q, is called partition function. So partition function can be defined as Q is equal to summation Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT. It is a great analytical tool in statistical thermodynamics because it facilitates the calculation of all the other thermodynamic functions or quantities. Now let us see partition function in detail. As we have seen, it is defined as Q is equal to summation 0 to infinity Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT, where Ei is the energy of the quantum state in excess of the lowest possible value. That means this energy is taken with respect to the lowest energy level. If the value of the energy of the lowest energy level is 0, then the Ei will be directly the energy of the quantum state. But if the lowest energy is not equal to 0, as in the case of vibrational energy level, which has 0 point energy, we have to subtract the lowest energy from this value. So we have to take the energy of the quantum state in excess of the lowest value. Gi is the statistical weight factor and it is equal to the degree of degeneracy, that is number of quantum states having the same energy Ei. Here K is the Boltzmann constant and is equal to the ratio of gas constant R to the Avogadro's number N. So we can write K is equal to R upon N. T is the temperature in Kelvin scale, and as we see here, the summation is over all the energy states from 0 to infinity. We see typically partition function is represented by capital Z, the first letter of German word Zustandssumme, which means sum over states, which was given by Max Planck. Later, Darwin and Fowler gave the term partition function, and we will be using the representation Q all over the lecture. So Q is equal to summation 0 to infinity Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT. Now how can we define partition function? According to this equation, we see that it is a sum of the probability factors for different energy state. So it is sum of all the probability factors, or we can define it in another way. It is a way in which the total energy of the system is distributed or partitioned between the molecules which constitute the system. So let us see physical significance of partition function. As the name implies, partition function, it summarizes in mathematical form how the energy of the system is partitioned or distributed between the molecules which occupy the various energy states. It is a pure number, hence it is a dimensionless quantity, and gives the number of thermally accessible states. It means it gives us the idea of how many number of energy states will be occupied at a particular temperature. Its value depends on molecular weight, molecular volume, molecular motion, temperature, internuclear distance, intermolecular forces, etc. Thus, it provides the most convenient way of linking the microscopic properties of individual molecules like moment of inertia, dipole moment, discrete energy levels, etc. with the macroscopic property of the system like entropy, polarization, etc. Now, there is another definition of partition function. Partition function may be defined as the ratio of the total number of particles to that in the zeroth energy level. We can prove it by this equation. According to Maxwell-Boltzmann law, we know Ni is directly proportional to Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT. Now, if we want to find the number of particles in any level, we can use this equation. Suppose we have to find for the zeroth level. So, it will be N0 directly proportional to G0 e to the power minus E0 upon kT. So, if we have to compare the number of particles in the ith level with the zeroth level, we can compare it just by taking the ratio. So, Ni upon N0 is equal to Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT divided by G0 e to the power minus E0 upon kT. Now, if we take the reference state, that is the lowest energy level as 0, that means E0 equal to 0. If we put 0 here, we will get e to the power 0, that is equal to 1. So, this term will be unity. So, we will have Ni upon N0 equal to Gi upon 0 e to the power minus Ei upon kT. Now, if for E0 is equal to 0, we take the degeneracy as 1, then this will be also equal to 1. So, we will have Ni equal to N0 Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT. Now, taking summation, we will put the sum here, summation, and put the summation here. N0 will be taken out from the summation. So, we will have summation Ni which is equal to N. So, this is N equal to N0 because these are the variables having I factor and this is N0. So, we have taken it outside. So, we have summation Gi e to the power minus Ei upon kT. Now, as defined earlier, this term is known as partition function which is represented by Q. So, we can write N is equal to N0 Q. So, this is Q, we will substitute here, and rearranging we get Q is equal to N upon N0. Thus, we see that the physical significance is that it is the ratio of the total number of particles to that in the zeroth energy. Now, let us see what is the effect of temperature on partition function. We have seen the two definitions by this equation and by this equation. Now, using these two equations, let us prove what is the effect of temperature on partition function. First, let us take the case of absolute zero temperature. At absolute zero temperature, if we expand this, we will have G0 e to the power minus E0 upon kT plus G1 e to the power minus E1 upon kT and so on. We will see that Ei upon kT, in denominator we are putting t is equal to 0, then this term will be equal to infinity, so that we get e to the power minus infinity which is equal to 0. This is except for the first energy level, that means the lowest energy level E0, for which the value is taken as reference 0. So, e to the power 0 will be equal to 1. So, only the first term will remain, all the other terms will be negligible. So, we will have Q is equal to G0, and G0 is nothing but it is the degeneracy of the ground state. Now, if for E0 equal to 0, the degeneracy is equal to 1, then the value of partition function will be 1. So, the lowest value of partition function we see is equal to 1. We can also prove by this equation. Now, if we take the 0 Kelvin temperature, all the particles will be in the ground state. That means N will be equal, N0 will be equal to the total number of particles. Then the ratio of N upon N, that will be equal to 1. So, when N tends towards N0, Q will tend towards 1 as T is equal to 0. We can write it like this: limit T tends to 0, Q tends to 1. So the minimum value of partition function is 1. And the value of partition function increases with temperature. Why? Because as the temperature increases, more and more molecules will occupy the higher energy level. Here it was the lowest or the ground state which was occupied, but here the higher energy levels will be occupied. Due to which what will happen? The value of this N0 will be less than N, so Q will be greater than 1. So when temperature is very high, the term EI upon KT will be equal to 0, and then we will see that all the e to the power terms will be equal to 0. E to the power EI upon KT, that is e to the power 0, that will be equal to 1. So we will have summation of G0 plus G1 plus G2. So many degeneracy terms will be summed up. So it will tend toward infinity. So we can write limit t tends to infinity, Q will tend towards infinity. Relation of molar and molecular partition function. Molecular partition function, we are representing it by capital Q. It is the partition function associated with a molecule. Molar partition function, we are using capital Z. When a system is composed of a large number of entities, each containing 1 mole of the substance, that is, each entity is not a molecule but a mole, then we call it as molar partition function. Now let's see how these two are related to each other. For distinguishable particles, as in crystals, this Z will be equal to Q1 into Q2 into Q3 up to n particles. So it will be Q to the power n. For indistinguishable particles, we have to include the permutation of indistinguishability here between the particles, permutation among the different particles. So we have to divide it by n factorial. This is as in the case of gas. So we have Z is equal to 1 upon n factorial Q to the power n. Now when the energy value at the ground state is taken as reference as 0, then we denote partition function as Q naught. Now there is another important relation which is very useful in understanding partition function, that is Boltzmann-Planck relation, which is the relation between entropy and thermodynamic probability. Now let us see how Boltzmann defines entropy. According to Boltzmann, entropy is defined as a function of probability of thermodynamic states or thermodynamic probability. So we can write S is equal to F of W, function of thermodynamic probability. Now to understand it, let us consider two states having entropy SA and SB and probabilities WA and WB respectively, such that the entropy of the first state SA is given by F of WA and entropy of the second state SB is equal to F of WB. Now we know that entropy is an extensive property or it is an additive property. So the total entropy will be the sum of two states, SA plus SB. So we will substitute the value from equation 2. We have S is equal to F of WA plus F of WB. Let this be equation 4. Now probability is multiplicative in property. So W is equal to WA into WB. So if we take function of W, F of W, this will be F WA into WB. This is equation number 6. Now we will substitute the value of this S and F of W in equation number 1 from equation 4 and 6. So substituting, we get for S we will substitute F of WA plus F of WB. This is equal to, for F of W we will substitute F of WA into WB. This equation number 7. As we all know, this condition is satisfied by a function which is natural logarithm, in which we know that natural log m into n is equal to ln of m plus ln of n. So we can write the F of W is directly proportional to ln of W or natural log of thermodynamic probability. Or if we remove this proportionality sign, we can write it in the form of a linear equation. F of W is equal to K log W plus a constant C, where K is Boltzmann constant. So substituting this value of F of W in equation number 1, we will have S is equal to K ln W plus C, that is constant. Planck showed that the value of this constant is equal to 0. Hence, entropy is related to thermodynamic probability by S is equal to K natural log W. And this equation is known as Boltzmann-Planck equation. Now let us see about energy levels. You all have studied spectroscopy and quantum mechanics, and there you have seen how the energy levels can be distinguished. In case of atoms, we will have only electronic energy level. In case of atoms, we only have electronic energy levels. So here we get line spectra, and we see that these are quantized energy levels. Whereas in case of molecules, the energy levels are not that simple. Here you can see the red lines. These red lines represent the electronic energy level of molecules. And these energy levels are quantized, and we can see the energy gap. There is a large energy gap between these electronic energy levels. And between two electronic energy levels, we have these blue lines. They are the vibrational energy levels, and which are also quantized and represented by quantum number V is equal to 0, V is equal to 1. This is the ground vibrational level. Then the next one, V is equal to 1, then V is equal to 2, and so on. Between the blue lines, we can see the black lines. These are the rotational energy levels. The gap between two rotational energy is very less, or they are very closely spaced. Though closely spaced, they are also quantized, which is evident from the values of the quantum number J is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So we see that in case of atom, there is only electronic energy level, whereas in case, so here we will have only the contribution of electronic partition function. Whereas in case of molecules, the partition function will have the electronic, vibrational and rotational contribution towards partition function. Now let's see what is molecular energy and its relationship with partition function. Molecular energy is the energy associated with a molecule, and the energy of the molecule is due to its different modes of motion. We know that there are three main modes of motion. They are translational, rotational and vibrational. In atoms only there will be translational motion, but in case of molecules we will have translational, rotational and vibrational motion. Apart from these modes of motion, we can include in the molecular energy the electronic energy and the nuclear energy. Here we are neglecting the nuclear part, so we can write the total energy of the molecule as EI is equal to ET translational energy plus ER rotational energy plus EV vibrational energy plus EE, that is electronic energy. Now these energy terms, they are not completely independent of each other. Translational, it is independent, but we know that whenever there is electronic transition, along with that vibrational and rotational changes also take place. If we take the vibrational transition, we will see that along with vibrational, the rotational energy level also changes. So we cannot say that they are completely independent, but we will take that these terms are independent of each other. So the separation of these terms is only approximate because the modes are not completely independent. But in most of the cases, if we consider it as independent, it can be satisfactorily applied. Now, given that the energy is a sum of independent contributions, the partition function will factorize into product of various partition functions. Now let's see what are the different modes of motion and the degrees of freedom associated with it. Suppose we consider a molecule which consists of n atoms, then the total degree of freedom for that molecule will be equal to 3n. In this 3n degree of freedom, it includes translational degree, rotational degree and vibrational degree of freedom. So let's see what are the values of these degree of freedom. Translational degree of freedom for any molecule, and it is for the atom also same, is equal to 3. So out of 3n, 3 is translational degree of freedom. Rotational degree of freedom is different for linear and non-linear. For linear we have 2 degrees of freedom, and for non-linear we have 3 degrees of freedom. Vibrational degree of freedom for linear molecule will be, this total is 3n, 3 plus 2, that is 5, so rest is 3n minus 5. Similarly for non-linear we have 3 plus 3, that is 6. So the vibrational degree of freedom will be 3n minus 6. Now let's see what is this 3n minus 5, 3n minus 6, or for rotational 2 and 3 degrees of freedom. We have seen that total degrees of freedom for a molecule consisting of n atoms is 3n. Translational degree of freedom for atoms and molecule, whether it is linear or non-linear molecule, it is equal to 3. That means translation motion is possible in 3 directions along 3 principal axes x, y and z. So the degree of freedom in translation is 3. In case of rotational, for linear molecule, if we consider this axis, this is the molecular axis, and here along this axis the rotation is not allowed, or the rotation is hindered here. So this is not allowed. Only 2 rotations are possible along this axis as well as this axis. So here the degree of freedom for rotational is 2. If we consider the non-linear molecules, we see that the degree of freedom for rotation is 3, because along the 3 principal axes the molecule can rotate freely. Now coming to vibrational degree of freedom. For linear it is 3n minus 5. How? Here it is 3. For linear 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So left is 3n minus 5. This is the case of carbon dioxide, which is a linear molecule. N is 3 here. So 3 into 3, 9. 9 minus 5, 4. We are having 4 modes of vibration. This is symmetric stretching, asymmetric stretching, and these 2 are the degenerate bending frequencies. Here this is in plane and this is out of plane. For non-linear molecule, it is 3n minus 6, because here 3 and 3 plus 3 is 6. So we have 3n minus 6. We can take the example of water molecule, which is a non-linear molecule. So 3 into 3, 9, 9 minus 6, that is 3. So we will have 2, one symmetric and asymmetric stretching and one bending. So this is what is degree of freedom, because in partition function we have to include this degree of freedom, and accordingly we have to calculate the partition. Now let's see what is molecular partition function. We have already defined molecular energy as a sum of translational plus rotational plus vibrational plus electronic energy. So this is equation number 1, which represents the total energy. Another important factor is the statistical weight factor, or the degeneracy of energy level, and which is given by multiplication of their components. So statistical weight factor is given by the product of its various components. So Gi is equal to Gt into Gr into Gb into Ge. Now if we consider the energy as independent and some of these independent functions, then we see that the partition function will factorize into product of its component. Let's see how we can factorize it. As we have already seen, this is the definition. We have the values of Gi and Ei from equation 1 and 2. We will substitute this in this equation. For Gi, we will replace it by the product of all the components. For Ei, we will replace it by the sum of all the components. So what we will get, we can factorize. If we consider these as independent, we can factorize it into summation Gt e to the power minus Et upon Kt into Gr summation e to the power minus Er upon Kt into summation Gv e to the power minus Ev upon Kt into summation Ge e to the power minus Ee upon Kt. So we have these terms independent of each other, and each of these independent term represents the partition function of that component. This is the partition function related to translation motion. So it will be Qt, or the translational partition function. This will be Qr, this will be Qv and Qe. So we see that partition function is represented by the product of partition function of the various components. Now let's see the expression for the allowed energy levels and their degeneracy. As we see the definition of partition function, Q is equal to summation Gi e to the power minus Ei upon Kt. We require two terms. One is E and another is G. So we will see one by one the various components. For translational energy, the energy is given by Et is equal to n square h square upon 8m Lx square. This can be derived from the Schrodinger wave equation for one-dimensional box. N is quantum number which has values 1, 2, 3, etc. and cannot be equal to 0. M is the mass of the particle, and Lx is the dimension of the box or length along x direction. Similarly, we can write for y and z, and all the three we will multiply and get the total translational partition function. Here the degeneracy is 1. Rotational energy, when diatomic molecules are considered as rigid rotor, Schrodinger wave equation, on solving we get Er is equal to J plus 1 h square upon 8 pi square I, where J is rotational quantum number having value 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. I is moment of inertia, which is given by I is equal to mu r square, where mu is reduced mass and r is bond length. And the degeneracy factor for rotational energy is 2J plus 1. Again, J is the rotational quantum number here. Now, vibrational energy level for diatomic molecule, when we consider it as simple harmonic oscillator, the solution of Schrodinger wave equation gives EV is equal to V plus half h nu, where V is vibrational quantum number having value 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Nu is the vibrational frequency. And here the degeneracy factor is again equal to 1. Electronic energy level, we consider the gap between the electronic energy level as h nu. In terms of centimeter inverse, we can write h c nu bar. Here the degeneracy is given by 2J plus 1. Here J is the resultant angular momentum quantum number. And here we see that in electronic, mainly the ground state is the occupied energy level. With this, we come to the end of this lecture. In this lecture, we have seen partition function, its characteristics, physical significance, relation between entropy and thermodynamic probability, relationship between molecular energy and partition function, and what is molar partition function. So in next class, we will see in detail about translational partition function, rotational partition function, vibrational partition function and electronic partition function. Thank you very much.